on the Gelli plate with some white permanent press muslin, because that is what I used for the flowers. It didn't really matter if I had anything stronger or heavier cotton than that. For this purpose, it's awesome. Permanent press muslin. Yay! We're going to be painting on the plates with SoSoft fabric paint by DecoArt. There we are. And again, I have some stencils here. We're going to use those. And let's just get going. So we're going to print on the fabric. There is no difference in the process when you use the Gelli plate to print on fabric than if you're printing on paper. You're still going to use, this is an acrylic base, it's water-based paint. You're still using that, putting it directly on the plate, making prints in it, making marks in it. Oh, this one's not open yet. And then putting something absorbent in it to create the print. So I'm going to place, I think this is Daisy Cluster, an oldie but goodie from the Crafters Workshop, on top of the plate. Now, I really love the ghost prints. I don't want to waste my fabric with prints that I know I'm not going to use for this purpose. So I'm going to make prints on paper first. And all I'm doing is rubbing the paper over top of the stencil, get in all of the cracks so that I can remove the paint that's visible on the plate right now. So I've removed quite a bit. If you can see, there's blotchy parts on the stencil. It's on the paper now. This will be ready to go for a paper collage of some sort, so I'll keep that aside. Remove the stencil from the plate, and then we're going to press the paper directly in the paint and smooth it out. There we go. Let the paint absorb into the fabric. It's a beautiful stencil. As I say, it's an oldie but a goodie. Okay, and then when you pull it back, you have this gorgeous print all ready to go. Isn't that beautiful? I love them. Like, that's stunning. This on its own would make a wonderful piece. Just trim it down. Maybe I could free motion stitch. Quilting this alone would be gorgeous. Might do that too. And that's really all there is to it. You just kind of go from there. Now we can layer these stencils up. So I'm going to keep that paint on the plate. I'm going to redo this a little bit here so we have the same base. You'll know if you don't have enough paint like this. I probably knew that I wouldn't before I even brayered it on, but apparently I wanted to go through the motions first. Brayering that right on. I actually think maybe I'll add a little bit of white. I just lost my picture there. And make a little bit of a pattern in there with it. Might as well use this stencil again. I'm going to put it back down into the paint. Another piece of paper and remove a bunch. Quilt and frame it. I probably will, Pam, because isn't that stunning? It's gorgeous. Okay, so I left a little bit more on it this time, and because the white's there, it's going to look a little differently on my fabric. There we go. So this one's a little bit more washed out because I put the white on there. Like washed, I mean like a distressed look. So if I got that, I'd want to add to it. So I'm going to add to that with, first of all, let's make it a different tone. I'm going to add a little bit of orange to this red. This one was Santa red, by the way. Maybe a touch of white. Stencil here. I do like striped leaves. I'm going to grab that. Also another Crafter's Workshop. And this time I'm going to put this directly into the paint. Now, the one beautiful thing about the fabric is that you can see the paint getting absorbed into it. You see that on the screen? So if you'd like to make sure, put your fingers through those little curves, those little slits in the stencil, and see what you can pull up. There's a little more. Now this will be tone on tone, but hopefully a little different tone. So yeah, you can see it. See? So I'm making, this is actually turning out to be really pretty. Harder to see on the camera. I'm just going to put this back in just to remove the paint that's on the stencil. Linda, it makes the fabric stiffer. Hold on, what makes the fabric stiffer? I know you can get craft textile medium. Yes, you can, and no, it really doesn't make it that much stiffer when you're using it on the Gelli plates. I used it on this particular project. I didn't hardly notice a difference. I have them here. This is one I use. This is the DecoArt one. I used this on the pillow project. Not a problem at all. We used this on our last Gelli Printing quilt class. They just gave them a bottle of this and they went to town. It was wonderful, soft, just follow the directions, heat set it after it dries, and you're good to go. I also used the GAC fabric painting medium from Golden. Also really great. This one had a little bit more of an odor to it. I'm not quite sure why, but it was about as thin, worked just as well. Follow the directions on the bottle and you're good to go. Both will make them launderable. So I really like this print too. Look at this for later. This is staying in Karen's pile. Oh, just plain craft paint makes it, oh sorry, I misunderstood. Just plain craft paint makes the fabric most definitely it does. You really need to, and there's binding agents in fabric paints and mediums as well that'll help it attach to the fibers. So much better off using fabric paint or acrylics with the mediums. All right, I'm just going to wash off my brayer here. There we go. Yeah, I like GAC too. I like saying GAC. What size is this Gelli plate? I see that on there. This is the 8 by 10. So I'm just cleaning this off a little bit because I want to make sure that it's clean for a different color. And I don't necessarily want the red to come up on my next pull. Can if I leave a little bit on it, but I don't want a lot through. Okay, ready to go with the next color. So I'm thinking I have this beautiful greeny yellow. This is called Green Apple. Oh. There it is, green apple. I think I'm going to use this one to make a complementary color on here. Okay. So could I use masks? Yes, I certainly could. Actually, I might do that now. Would be a good idea. I have a circle template in here, a large circle template. But I could also use the mask like we did last week with the frisket film. Just looking for my, here it is. Look at this one. Watching lovely jelly and fabric tricks, hee hee. There we go. So I'm going to put that down and then remove the paint that's in the circles. I'll do that on this paper. Now because I'm trying to remove it, I'm going to make sure that I really get a lot of pressure on the exposed paint. There we go. You can actually see all the, it's getting soaked in there. Okay, so I can remove now. Whoop. Okay. And here's that plate. Now I'm going to put this right on top. Now remember that yellow is going, the yellow green that's on the plate is going to look a tad orangey on top of the red. But it still should complement it. Oh, it looked more yellow, orangey in some spots. I like that. So you get a two-tone. You guys see that in there? I think that's all I needed. Just a little pattern. Oh, what I'm seeing and what you are seeing is a little different, but hopefully. See that? So that's all I'm going to do for now. Here are the pieces of fabric that I made tonight with you. You can find this and the project, the pillow project, on our blog, thearthousestudio.blogspot.com. And I hope that everyone watching the recording will visit the site and see this and other related projects. And join us again live on USTREAM next Thursday at 6:30 Eastern. So recording people, will see you again soon. Have fun printing on fabric.